beneficial for the government and its ends and its purposes, that it's just going to tell you what's going to happen, and you've got to obediently go along with it, and it's all going to be okay. They're here to protect you. Just go along with the system, and and then anybody who's like, wait, hold on a second, then they're the bad person. Then you're like, oh my God, he's the disruptor. He has to be shut down, and then they go and protest that person, and mace anybody who agrees with them, and it's like that's a big part of the social justice warrior thing, is like they're like glommed onto a narrative, and that they haven't critically self-examined from any like rational point of view of principles or anything. It's just like kind of like a socially acceptable thing that they can just slide into and not really have to think about it, and just zombify, just going along with the narrative and not questioning anything that's going on. That's a mind state that's super beneficial for people that want to give you conclusions and have you, that want to construct your consciousness based on their wants and needs.
Yeah, and the thing is, once they have their program in place completely, I mean, getting out of it is the equivalent of THX 1138, you know what I mean? I mean, you got to fight, you got to run. It's ridiculous, and that's where we're being pushed.
And as many criticisms I have of institutionalized religion, it's like a kryptonite to that type of thing.
Which is interesting, isn't it?
It's like it's a total like, it's another like system of thought to slide into, but it's much more conducive to individualism.
Yeah, which is interesting. It is, and there's a reason for that. Okay, have you ever been ice skating?
Unfortunately, yes.
Painful, isn't
I
it?
smacked my elbow on the ice repeatedly.
And you were awkward on the... Now, I played hockey for a while, so I'm good. I'm good on my skates. It took me about a year to get my skates under me, because it was hard, and I had to build up muscle in my ankles. And
powerful ankles.
Yeah. I had to get my body in obedience to me in order to properly work on that ice. But once I had a certain level of obedience to the discipline required, I was strong enough to do things on the ice now, and that I can still do, because I know how. I figured it out. That in a certain way, being disciplined to a certain set of beliefs and standards and practices, they've got to be good beliefs and standards and practices, because there's bad and good beliefs, just like anything we've been talking about tonight. But if you've got that, you're going to be more free. Now, people think that words like discipline and obedience always mean that you are, under a chain and whips. Okay, that's been connoted.
I think there's a difference between disciplines that are chosen and disciplines that are imposed.
It's like swimming with the current instead of against it. That's the way to put it. And what's going on now is the left is swimming against the current of reality. That's what's going on right now. And it's impossible to do that. And whenever you do that, reality shows what happens. It happens in a different time frame than people would expect. But
then you get Pocahontas.
Yeah, you get Pocahontas. You get, well, that was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Like Pocahontas over here.
Oh man, I love Trump, man.
Every time he does, it's amazing. Every time the liberal media freaks out, you know why? It's because they're like, the people who like him are going to like him even more now. We've got to tell them they can't like him for saying that.
So just, it's the perfect combination of he knows it's going to trigger people.
Yeah.
He knows there's a kernel of truth to it.
Yeah.
And he knows that he's going to make his supporters laugh.
Right.
He's got that comic wit about him, and people that look at it in a certain way of, oh, he's just an oaf that doesn't know how to conduct himself. It's like, no, he's 10 levels above that.
Yeah.
Like, he could, if he really wanted to, he could do his Barack Obama impression and go up there and be dignified and Donald Trump. It's not like he's out of control of his faculties.
No.
Like,
man, he's more in control of his faculties than I am at the age of 30.
He's just having fun with the situation because he knows he's on the next level. Like, here's the thing with Donald Trump.
He's so good, I worry sometimes that he... you know what I mean?
Like, how are you this confident?
Yeah, it's amazing.
What it comes from is doing multi-million-dollar business deals in the free market. when you're looking across the table and you're negotiating for
you are 100%
hundreds of millions of dollars,
mm-hmm.
you think he can't turn it on and be 100% serious and know what the fuck is going on every level of communication that's happening?
And the deal is, the amounts of money he's made, I mean, it's enough to finance smaller countries, you know? He's dealt in those sums of monies before, so he already has some...
Those are serious people you're competing with.
Oh, yeah.
At that level.
We're talking body bag type people.
Hillary Clinton has never had to compete against anybody who is that serious. When you're in the you're in the political realm, it's not competition. What it is a popularity contest, it's a propaganda contest, it's a talking point
and
contest.
Everything's controlled from you know, thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Everybody, you know, the Republicans and Democrats are spanking each other's butt off the football team. You know, they're all buds behind closed doors, but then they get in there and they fight down the partisan line. Will you do this? Will you do this? It's like the good cop, bad cop.
Play.
Yeah, it's good cop, bad cop, and we're the convict. That's what it is. I'm the good cop. I'm the bad cop. I'm the good cop. You better choose. Okay, you chose good. They're working together to control you. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then left, right, you know.
But in business, it's cutthroat. Fuck you. I'm making my money.
Yeah.
And I'm putting you out of business.
Yeah.
And it's like real life, real quick, 100%. Like,
you don't sell me this, I'm buying up this whole section, you're sunk. You sell it to me, you get a little bit, you're gonna make more than you did.
And that's what Donald Trump thrives in. Like, you can tell, like, what anybody else that was in his position, if it was just a politician who managed to get to his stage and everybody was attacking him like they were attacking Donald Trump, they would have folded a long time ago. That guy thrives on that.
Oh, yeah.
He rolls out of bed every day, just loving it.
Bing bong, bing 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 bing.
Oh my God. He gets off on it. Like, he just gets on Twitter and just Psycho Joe Scarborough and Bloody Mika. Like, just whatever he wants.
Well, it's like he's got a fireside chat with us whenever he has it. It's brilliant. It actually is one of the most brilliant public relations and contact things any president's ever done. It's going to go down in history because we know what he's thinking. He's right there. And he can just divert the media. It's like he's got a laser and they're a cat.
Oh, he's a master of the news
Oh
cycle.
man, that cat's about to poop on my lawn. He's gonna poop on my sock. Let me get my laser. All right, I laser him over. And then he like lasers it over into his nephew's sock, who's been a real jerk and cracks. Then the cat poops in the nephew's sock and stays. Or you know what I mean? He's just he knows. Twitter
is strategic triggering.
Yeah.
Like when he posted those videos of the Muslims throwing gay people off buildings and like
right.
and all.
Have you seen? Oh my gosh, it's a terrible video.
But he posted it out of nowhere and then gets people in a frothing rage, and then that's the big debate: is Muslims don't do that. Oh no, not all Muslims. And then it draws attention to, well, some Muslims are pretty violent, and they use their ideology to justify it.
Yeah. Because you have to look at the reality there. It's going to cause more conversation. What he's doing is something on a macrocosmic level that I was doing before he was elected on a microcosmic level. Which, now I wasn't trying to do it at the same rate. I would see somebody post something leftist and I would just come in there with the reality, boom, firestorm. Or I would post something that I thought was true, boom, firestorm. Same sort of thing, and it forces people to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And they talk about it with you, they talk about it with their friends, they get fired up and mad about it. And sometimes that's bad, sometimes it's not. Because sometimes you have to sit down and critically examine what you believe, and sometimes there's people who don't get involved directly, but watch from the sidelines and think about that. Like, man, I don't agree with that guy, but geez, the moxie. Or man, I agree with that guy, but man, I don't like him.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? So when they think that way, they're going to have these conversations. They're going to be more cool about it. They're going to see it coming. They're not going to blow up themselves. So I was doing that for a while. I wasn't trying to be a jerk, but I'd see something and I'd feel moved in my spirit. And I'd pray over a coin and flip it a lot of times. And then I'd respond and, I'd type it out and say, all right, God, is that good? All right, I know that's not. I'm better with it. So I do that kind of stuff. And it was amazing, man. Some of them threads got 1,000+ comments. And it was just... One guy in Denver nicknamed me Kevin Bennett, Eater of Days, because that was a while ago, but then Donald Trump made it in. Yeah. And I'm not going to gloat, So, but what's happened though is he, in a certain way, just by expressing what he believes and whatnot, he's starting off, instead of with a few thousand friends on Facebook, he's got the whole country. And so that's going to have an impact. That's going to keep spreading the truth. Because the thing about the truth is, once you unbottle it, it ain't going back in the bottle. it's going to keep spreading. The thing about a lie is you got to keep wafting that out. You got to put some energy behind it.
And what he does is one of his negotiation tactics is he always asks for more. He always asks for more than what he wants.
Yeah, that's a good thinking.
So it wasn't. He starts the conversation way on the other side of the first down line. Mm-hmm. He starts the conversation 40 yards downfield. No, we're building a wall and Mexico's paying for it. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not just having a conversation about common sense enforcement of immigration. That's what a standard Republican politician would have been. Right. Started the discussion at, we need to start looking at reforming some of these immigration laws. No, we're going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. And then that gets everybody to flip out, and it causes a huge conversation in the media because they're like, this guy's a psycho. And then he gets back to the conversation. Everybody's talking about it, and then it boils down to Donald Trump's getting 20 yards downfield further than what the other guy would have started with.
Yeah.
So he asked for way more than what he really expects to get, and then he's going to try to negotiate from that position. And it's a super powerful tactic. Like, he's a master of that, of controlling the narrative, controlling the discussion, and getting people to strategically flip out. Like, he'll have a spelling mistake on purpose and then divert all the focus onto that. Meanwhile, he actually just slipped in some subversive truth into everybody's consciousness. And people looking on the surface are like, this guy is out of his mind, but that's a strategic play just to get you to talk about it.
Well, yeah, and
then
knows,
get this
he knows
conversation started.
He knows who he's dealing with because he swam in these circles without being one of the sharks for decades. Since Oprah, I mean, he was interviewed by Oprah about being the president in the early 90s, was it? Oprah says she's a whale of a shark herself. They're talking about grooming her to run against him in the next election. That would be so freaking hilarious. But it's kind of
Oprah, The Rock, and Donald Trump.
Oh my gosh. Mike Judge would just be laughing and crying at the same time. He's like, I thought it was going to happen in 2400. I didn't realize 20.
I think they're going to merge Oprah and The Rock into one transgender hero of progressivism and just be hulking.
Dwayne The Rock Winfrey.
And be just handing out cars and lifting weights and just...
You get a car!
Eating pizzas and...
You get a smile! You get an eyebrow!
Bench pressing overweight women in the audience.
Oh my gosh.
We love Dwayne Winfrey.
Dwayne Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Dwayne The Rock Winfrey.
Can you smell la 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 la?
What?
But Oprah is cooking.
Oh man. See, it's pretty ridiculous. The whole Trump, he bounced around these places where you had people that were on the way up and were already established and were in high. And he wasn't one of those nasty sons of guys, but he knew how they operated, and he was nice and cordial and part of the deal in it. And then he gets in a position where, all right, we're going to do this thing. And so what's he doing? Like you said, he's playing it down the field of where they're at, and they don't even realize it.
Not only am I going to beat Hillary Clinton, we're going to lock her up. And you got whole crowds of people chanting, lock her up. Lock her up. Those rallies that he held were so crazy.
Oh man, that had to be such a morale killer for the other team too. Like, he demoralized them, because the socialists are all about demoralizing the general populace so that they can take over. Well, Donald Trump demoralized the demoralizers. He doubled down on it. He's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to have thousands of people, more than you get at all of your events combined, chanting to lock you up. And you're going to hide behind your billions of dollars because you think that's your strong city, and you're not going to strategize. Instead of thinking this is a serious thing, you're going to try and avoid thinking about it and rest in your money. It ain't going to work, though.
And not only am I not a sexual predator because of the Billy Bush tape, but Bill Clinton's a rapist.
And here's all the women he's raped. Double, triple down. He's like, they're right there. And then Bill, his expression, I mean, that was one of the things that sealed the election. He's just sitting there like, what a look. What a look. And that was so funny and so memeable. And then, of course, we had the rise of the memes as well, which just, oh my gosh, Kekistan came through. My goodness. That was ridiculous.
I only talk nasty to women when they're Rosie O'Donnell.
No, you called him this, that. No, only Rosie O'Donnell. That was so beautiful. Oh, man. Oh, man. And he's killing it, too.
We would really be in trouble if we had a man like Donald Trump in charge of the law and order in this country.
That's right. Because you'd be in jail.
Boom. That was like he saw there was a fly on the back of somebody's head, so instead of shooting it, he just punched the head. Just boom.
He
fly's gone.
He demolished Jeb Bush too.
Oh man.
Low energy Jeb.
Low energy Jeb. And Jeb's like, you're not going to insult your way to the presidency.
That
just like a little turtle.
That one where he was talking about, Jeb Bush was talking about how he was going to keep the country safe like his brother did. And then Donald Trump was like, didn't 9/11 happen under your brother's administration? How is that keeping the country safe? And then there was all these boos and hisses from the crowd, and he was like, you see those? Those are all his political donors. Those are all the lobbyists. And the crowd, there was more just hissing and
tell the truth. Truth to power.
He was like the super establishment. You remember that before the whole Donald Trump phenomenon? That was going to be the thing. It's another Clinton versus another Bush. That's what it was going to be. It was going to be Jeb Bush and Hillary.
Let's do another remake. Yeah. That 2000 election was great. Let's just keep doing that for the next 50 years. That's what,
All of a sudden, there came about a billionaire white male with fuck you money that knew how to punch back.
Here's what it is. I think with Donald Trump, I think he just tells the truth. I really do. Now, some people may say the truth is he sees it. Well, he's got a perspective to have seen it better and in better contrast than most people in the country. Probably, I don't know, maybe than all of them. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But that's what, and he is telling the truth about every situation in a way the common man can understand.
Yeah, and he exaggerates it and simplifies it.
Sad. Yeah, and that tells it, it is sad. Oh, so-and-so is being a political hypocrite. Sad. Boom, that's the truth. Bam. They're going to be mad. You just killed that sacred cow. The emperor's wearing no clothes. Dumb. You know? And everybody freaks out. I love it. I love it. And I'm glad to see what's happening with what he's doing. I hope we can get to the point where we have more private and homeschool situations.
Just in terms of accomplishments, he's already the greatest president in the history of the country.
It's amazing. It's in less than a year, because he hasn't even been sworn in for a year yet, not until January 20th. He's got what is it, the 3rd today? So he's got 48 days until it's been a full year. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
He got the tax cuts through.
Amen. In the first year. All he needs to do is wrap Hillary in a big bow and deliver her to jail for Christmas.
Jeff Sessions is the problem. He's still worried about people smoking weed.
Oh my gosh.
Don't look at the Clinton Foundation documents yet, Jeff.
Listen, Mr. President. How's Jeff Sessions talk?
He's
Listen, Mr. President. I know about the uranium with the Russians and Hillary and North Korea and the nuclear problems, but it's marijuana. It's marijuana.
They got all these black people out there raping women.
And it's because of the weed. They got the reefer madness.
And they're hitting people over the head with cast iron skillets.
They're grabbing cats by the tail and winging them around their heads and then letting them go like a shot put until it takes somebody out around the neck.
That's why all the immigrants are coming across the border, because we got the best weed.
They do. They want some of our sweet ganja kush.
It's terrible.
We've got the chronic, and they want the chronic.
I think we need to have a budget allotment for concentration camps for these weed smokers.
And we just set them all on fire.